So I apologize. This is going to be a continuation. We had to stop preemptively, unexpectedly, and presuppositionlessly, without any advertising or as a complete surprise. I will just continue a little bit to get into it. Wealth, privilege, and Epicureanism are depicted as going hand in hand. In Statius' villa, poetry luxury is celebrated as a sign not of moral decadence, but as an essential component of moral virtue and philosophical value. This reconfiguration of luxury seems to indicate a development of Epicureanism peculiar to its Roman context, in which patronage was defined according to the ideals of the school. This is visible in the writings of Philodemus on household economics, shows with occupations and ways of earning a living are compatible with the philosophic life. The combination of gentleman farmer and philosopher is exemplary. It is not an egalitarian picture. It depends on the sweat of others, but also makes demands on how subordinates are to be treated with kindness. The Statian villa as locus aminus appears to function as an analogue for the philosophic life. It also seems to mark a new stage in the development of Roman values. The business of Cato has been replaced by the rustic simplicity and otium of Horace, which still rejected luxury and finds a further development in the doctum otium, cultivated tranquility of Statius' poetry. In which rural bliss, technology, and the philosophic life combines to make for an idyllic life. The locus aminus stands as a revelation of the philosophic telos in terms of environment and landscape. Statius' combination of the technological and the rural may also be considered part of a wider movement in which the urban and rural were brought together in a utopian scheme, often focused on a villa. Epicurus, Lucretius, Varro, Plato, Pliny the Elder, and Vitruvius all contribute to the development of this phenomenon and show that the appropriation of such ideas is not dependent on the Silva alone. The pastoral traditions did not remain confined to literature. They also featured in the design and decoration of houses in the late Republic and early Empire. Second style wall paintings included pastoral scenes. Thus, pastoral landscape adorned the Villa Farnesina in Rome, while porticos of the Villa San Marco incorporates pastoral depictions of mythological figures. Contrapuntal designs at the Villa of the Papyri are an architectural embodiment of Epicurean values. So lack of time forces me to put a pause here. 1824, but we have quite enough to make a rather nice read-through. So the last word here is Epicurean values. And I'd say that's what it is about. We have on page 176 and about 12 lines from the bottom here, we have a nice quote. Now we'll go in it mid-sentence, in which guilt and fear will be banished and gods and humanity live together in a pastoral idyll. We mentioned in the previous lecture the idea of representationalism and how that leads to a fearsome and torturous search for facts. These elusive atoms of knowledge. That is in truth a complete torturous situation, because you can never be yourself in your knowledge. You constantly have to refer to something other than yourself. Nothing will ever ring true. This is one of the reasons most modern articles are filled with references. not showing the true nature of the observer from himself or herself. Can you imagine not knowing yourself, but having to refer? That weakens you. It weakens your knowledge. And I would bring in an author here of great importance in the lecture series, about 1200 episodes before, Wayne D. Dyer. And he said, the worst type of authoritarianism is when your own knowledge, the facts, are somewhere else. So you cannot have knowledge in your heart or by your heart, in your chest or your existence. And there is a very odd saying here on page 177. It's in the third paragraph, about 12 lines down. It's almost the fourth paragraph. And for some reason, there is a Wittgensteinian site here. I think it sneaked in by mistake or by the will of the author. Both Horace and the bailiff are presented as equals in need of philosophical therapy. This philosophical therapy is what leads to what you can see further down as Epicureanism's ataraxia. And the mental state of the equus animus, absence of disturbance, particularly derives from the poet's intellectual appreciation of the images as memory of his physical contentment. At perception structured by associations, and you have to go a bit further down there. If you lift. A perception structured by the associations with pleasure, voluptas, and attached to the word aminus. So combine Dyer and Wittgenstein. Wittgenstein opens the gate to ataraxia and equus animus, of locus sanctus, locus animus. And in Dyer you see, if you are dependent on representationalism, you will be under the dictatorship of facts, the dictatorship of experts, people telling you what is real in your own life. Nothing can be more torturous, but it's so easy to get rid of. The locus animus is just around the corner, the eternal bliss, permanent life, and living in sanctitude with higher values. That is something that is constantly accessible and possible for everyone, not solely for the ones in the past, but also the ones living right now. The ones that are in the most dire need of it, as to mention Wayne D. Dyer. We become whole first when we accept we are the only source of knowledge. It is from us it stems, with no need to make further references to something external to ourselves, to fall back to authoritarianism, the dependence of an exterior imagined check or rule or person or institution that secures that your own life is real, that you are truly living, and that you exist. This coming into life, I'd say that is locus aminus. And in locus aminus, together with ataraxia, there's no room for doubt. There's no room for disbelief, because belief is not a proposition of a representational fact. It is not like God exists or not exists. It's nothing of the kind. That is the easy, non-complicated door to eternal bliss. So for concluding remarks, Kalle. Are you there, Kalle? Kalle Lundahl? Hello? I hear you not.
So here we have Statius, the poet. Statius, which is he's relatively late. He died in 95, while Horace passed away already 8 BC. So it's a new world. Is the major, it's a developed form of empire, and you have here the villa is the new ideal, not the rustic place itself. There is more, as you see here, much great emphasis has been placed on the villa. And this reminds me of the paper that we went through a couple of weeks ago by Carina Moss and Lena Feldman about the New Jerusalem. And it's actually about the same verses. Moss and Feldman does not quote So we went through this paper by Moss and Feldman a couple of weeks ago, where we discussed the phenomenon of villa is the new ideal, and the inside-outside go together in these new kind of villas from the end of the 1st century, the time of Statius. And you see here Katerina Edwards remarks that not content with rearranging the boundary between land and sea, Helgevent vaan better construct boats that contact trees and gardens. So inside and outside go together. And let me go back to this paper. And you have also this keyword here in status, fusion. You see here, the villa becomes a fusion of nature and technology.
Oh, yeah, I see nature and technology.
As in you see in this other paper about
Yes.
Caligula and
How
Professor
nature comes into the house, into the villa, with seas and streams and everything. How lovely. Very nice.
But today I won't add anything else. I know you are a little bit in a hurry, and I think it was a great reading here today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kalle Lundahl, and very sorry for the hiccup here, but I'm still very happy. The article is fantastic, and next time I will bring out more with the parallel to Wayne D. Wire. It's very interesting how he sort of did a modern take on the equus animus and said that the most important in a human's life is the equality of mental state, to be without worry, but not without care. On the absolute opposite, caring a lot, having compassion. He even said that without ataraxia, as we can call it here, or equus animus, there is no possibility of care. And there are some good points to that. Why, thank you very much, everyone, for listening in. Have a very pleasant morning, day, afternoon, or night. Bye bye for now, and I stop the recording there.